Hello, hello, my name's Trudy. Many of you know me as One Grounded Angel, which is my Instagram handle. And I'm doing a weekly angel card reading video for the week starting the 20th of January, Monday the 20th through to the 26th of January, 2020. So let's get started and see what is going to come up for us this week, what we need to know that's going to help us make good choices. Whoops, not that card deck because it's just fallen apart. What we might expect. And sometimes these cards, because you're watching this in advance, sometimes these cards will take on a different meaning when the actual day comes up. So let's go. Monday, healing the past. What I noticed first of all with this card is the roots that are going into the soil. There's a saying that if you want to bear the fruits, the roots bear the fruits. So if you're trying to manifest something, to use, spiritual wokeness lingo, or if you're just trying to achieve a goal, make some changes in your lives, you're not going to be able to do that if you don't deal with what's going on underneath. I would say that I'm a Scorpio. We're all about what's going on underneath, but seriously though, it is really important. You can't reach for more if you haven't dealt with what's back there in the past that you might be still extending one hand towards while you're going like this. It doesn't work so well. For example, if you're trying to attract a healthy long-term relationship, if you're still bitter towards your ex, or you're still wondering if what would have happened if I'd done things differently way back then, it's really going to limit, or inhibit your ability to reach forward and attract that new relationship. So what is it that needs healing? Because when we heal the past, we're clearing the energy, changing the energy around us, and that really creates an anchor point for the energy to send, so the universe to send for new energy to support us as we move forward. So what is it you need to heal? This could be something that happened last year, or it could be something that happened in your childhood. It could be you don't even know what it is. The best thing to do is to look at what you're going through at the moment, what you're trying to create, where you're getting stuck, and that may give you a hint as to what it is. For example, if you're really struggling to set boundaries, think about, and you've got some problems with maybe toxic or at least unhealthy people trying to take advantage of you, look back and see when this has happened before, because generally these sort of patterns are not new, they're very old, and they come up so they can be healed. And they keep coming out because that's the universe trying to prompt you to do something about it. So you might like to look back at, your childhood in particular. We learn about boundaries from our parents. If our parents said yes to us all the time and didn't set any rules for us, then we have no sense of boundaries at all. And perhaps if we didn't grow up in a household where we felt safe, we won't have learnt how to keep ourselves safe, and that means that we won't understand where to set limits. So let me move on, because I could talk about that one a long time. Don't forget, I am an energy healer, and so if you are stuck with that one and you feel like there's something you really need to heal, this card's just come up for Tuesday, as I've said that, energy work. As I was saying, if you feel like you need some help with that, call on me for energy healing, and you can do that via my website, www.onegroundedangel.com. There's a tab called How I Work, gives you some more information about the services I offer. There's also a tab on energy healing, and there's a bookings tab, and that's where you go to chat with me about a booking, or you can go into the booking tab if you're not quite ready yet, and just go to find more information in the drop down menu. So energy work, let's talk some more about that. We are surrounded by energy. We are made of energy. A lot of people, I talk about the energy field a lot. Some people call it the aura, whatever is most comfortable for you. And so whenever we've gone through traumas or hurtful experiences, it causes a wound in our energy field. And so that is an opportunity for you to heal. And if you don't, you're going to keep attracting situations that mirror that wound in some way, because it's what's around you. If you think of magnets, like attracts like, that's the law of attraction for those of you who are already versed on such things. That means that what's going on in our energy is absolutely crucial for what we attract in the future and in this moment as well. So going back to that example of the childhood where you didn't feel safe, perhaps your parents had a volatile relationship, or they had mental health problems or something, you didn't learn to feel safe, that's going to mean you're likely to attract situations this is not a science, by the way, or it's not a hard and fast rule, but you might attract situations that reflect that. For example, you keep attracting relationships with people who are addicts in some way, they've got mental health issues, or they just don't care for you in some way. They don't show, they might say all the right things, but they show through their actions that they actually don't really. And there might be a number of reasons for that, but the key thing to look at is, where is the wounding in your energy? This is hard to figure out on your own, but some self-reflection is really helpful. Often people come to see me, they've already done quite a lot of thinking around this, and I've got a pretty good idea of what's going on. Sometimes I can sort of shed a bit more light on that, and my job is to help you go through that growth. Now, if that doesn't resonate for you, none of that feels right, you're like, yeah, I'm not so sure about that, you might just like to look at your energy as a whole instead of going into the healing side of things, and look at, how is my energy at the moment? If I'm completely drained, am I looking after my energy well, or am I not, or am I allowing myself to spend time with people who are really negative, or people who are energy vampires, or people who completely take the piss, to use an Aussie expression. That will take a toll on your energy, and you'll end up feeling drained even though you don't have a logical reason to feel completely drained, because they zap your energy, those sorts of people. How can you look after your energy better? So making better choices, obviously looking after your physical health can, well, maybe it's not obvious, but I would say looking after your physical health can positively impact your energy. For example, getting enough sleep, not going overboard with things like alcohol, staying away from things like weed, which is really bad for energy field. It really tears holes in your energy. Household chemicals can be another one. This is something I'm only slowly cottoning on to be honest. And yeah, so your physical health also, in terms of things like exercising, doesn't mean crazy things like going to the gym if you don't want to. I like the gym because I just like to get things over with in one hit, but it's not for everybody, and the object is, you know, movement in your physical body can help with movement in your energy as well. So how are you looking after your energy might be what you need to take from that message. Let's go on to Wednesday, because we're at 7 minutes 20 and I am only up to the third day of the week. So it's probably because I could talk about energy all day. Wednesday, a favourable outcome. So with this, there are scales on here that might appeal to you if you're a Libra, but if you're not, that's okay, because the idea of balance, although it's often derided in our society, this busy world, is an important one. And it might not be about the elusive work-life balance, which I'm not even sure exists. It might be more about justice in terms of the scales. So if you're in a conflict situation, you're in a series of negotiations, something where you are worried about the outcome, this card often can come up to reassure you that you are going to get an outcome that is fair. Fairness is a big concept, I guess, aligned with the scales. So that might be it for you. But even if you're not going through anything like that, this card is really wonderful for reassuring you that everything's going to be okay. It may not work out the way you expect it to, but it will be okay. And so it's bringing through a lot of reassuring energy just to help alleviate your worries and your stress. And it's encouraging you to have faith in that outcome that you can't see yet. Oh, Thursday. I've got to stop being so aggressive with the shuffling. You know what to do. This is one of those cards that is really great when it's coming up for someone who is trying to make a decision, because often when we are trying to make a decision, we actually know what we want to do or what is right for us to do, but we're scared to commit to it for many reasons, which are often quite valid. And this card can come up to say, hey, we've been trying to tell you this and you know it, you're just not committing to it. So maybe you just need to take that leap of faith and trust that everything will be okay. So perhaps this is coming up for you because you've been getting a lot of signs or a lot of guidance lately about something you need to do. Maybe it's something you need to let go of. Maybe it's something, a new step that you need to take for your own spiritual development, maybe for your physical health. Maybe it's for the health of your relationships. Whatever it is, you know what to do. Please do it. Where should I go next? I might go this card deck. Friday. Delight. What a beautiful word. So there is a picture of two birds here, which may or may not be doves, over a beautiful green field. So we've got this idea of peace and of serenity, I guess, coming through. We had a card about enthusiasm last week from this very same deck. This card deck really kind of goes for simplistic messages, which is still very powerful. And yeah, I like the simplicity with this one in particular. It says, I delight in everything in my world and divine joy fills me. So really taking time to enjoy what you have in your life. I know that you wish other things were happening and they're not happening right now, and that's very frustrating, but we need to make a point of enjoying what we have, because this life is very short, and it's, you know, often one of the common regrets from people when they become old is that they wish they had enjoyed what they had when they had it. So we need to get this reminder pretty regularly, I would say. Certainly I do. I'm often so focused on the future and also on the minutiae of particular tasks that I'm forgetting to actually enjoy and celebrate the fantastic life that I have in this lifetime. So some joy, bringing through some joy is going to be a great message, and not a bad way to start the weekend too. Let's go to Saturday. I love it how I was worried about taking too long with this reading. It took me 7 minutes to do 2 days, and now I'm up to 11, and I'm already up to the 6th day, in fact. This might not be, yeah, this is not the right card deck. I reserve the right to change my mind if things don't feel right. So that's what this is. Sometimes I choose the cards in advance, sometimes I just put them all out. I've got about 15 down here and just choose them as I go, which is what I'm doing right now. So Saturday we have first step. It's got an illustration of some hydrangea. That flower might be symbolic or significant to you in some ways. I love this card because it's super practical, and sometimes we actually just need a bit of practical advice. You know, the spiritual stuff is great, but sometimes we actually need someone to say, this is what you've got to do, and here it is. Breaking down this problem into tiny steps makes it easy to take the first step. If someone had told me that I would have to do 5 years worth of Instagram posts every single day and videos most of those weeks, I would probably have a freak out. But if I just concentrate on each day at a time, each week at a time, I can do it. Tiny steps. I'm not looking at the bigger picture. I am in some ways in terms of where I want to go, but I'm not looking at all the things I've got to do to get there. I'm just looking at what's in front of me, one step at a time, broken it right down. And so that's excellent advice for manifesting, for creating, for your growth and for your goals. So let's go to Sunday. Release and surrender, never not necessary. This one, always need this. We cannot reach for new things if we're still holding old things. And this, these are lovely bookends actually for a week that's a lot about dealing with the old and getting rid of it. This the healing the past for Monday, and here on Sunday we've got release and surrender. We need to be willing to let go, or else we can't move forward. We're not put here to be burdened by the weight of all that has happened. We're here to grow. That means learning lessons from the past. So certainly looking at the past has its value. I'm not saying disregard it. I'm just saying when you've learned what you need to learn, move on, because regretting, ruminating, wishing things were different, it's so not helpful, and it's, you know, going to help. It's going to, you know, contribute to your, would even diminish your ability to attract new experiences, because you will attract things that mirror what you have not yet let go of. So what do you need to let go of? It could be like on a more mundane level for you. Perhaps there's something you need to let go of. Maybe you're trying to see too many people of a week and it's exhausting you, and maybe you just need to limit down your social commitments. Or maybe it could be something bigger in terms of maybe you need to let go of friendships that are actually have become unhealthy. Whatever it is, you'll know, because as this card tells us on Thursday, you know what to do. So here we've got, as I said, the big message is about healing from the past and letting go of the past, the old stuff. Dealing with our energy and really moving forward in terms of you know what to do, so there's your confirmation and the reassurance that things will be okay, but also some practical advice on how to do it. So they're kind of giving us a bit of fuel to move forward with our goals. That's it for the week. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back every week. As I say, lots of information on my website, www.onegroundedangel.com. And I post each card each day in Australian Eastern Daylight Time, around 6, 7, 8 a.m. Doesn't matter what time you see the cards. When you see it is when you need it. Don't get too hung up on time. Sometimes an old card will come at you thanks to the Instagram algorithm, and maybe that's the card you need actually, even if it was 2 months old. So my Instagram is @OneGroundedAngel. My Facebook page is called One Grounded Angel, and I will be back next week. Take care.